Beautiful morning. So morning, my lovely live people who are coming to class, and those of you who are doing it at home, welcome. So this one was inspired by, well, wasn't inspired by, I was enraged by something I read in of all things, a Waitrose magazine. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. It was the little free newspaper that came around. So I'll just read you the little snippet that enraged me, and you can have a guess as to what part of it made me so cross. So it started saying fitness for women. So I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Judgment-free fitness classes, including boxing, yoga, and dancing, will be prescribed by GPs for women with conditions such as depression and diabetes from early this year. Designed by Sports England and with the same title as its This Girl Can campaign, they're designed to be welcoming to women who feel intimidated by group exercise. So all is good, not got a problem with social prescribing. I think it's a wonderful thing, and there are all sorts of studies which prove that exercise and yoga can be wonderful for our mental and physical health. It was the bit at the beginning, judgment-free, as though there could be anything else going on in a yoga class. So I was really upset about that as a yoga teacher, that there might be a feeling out there that we're sort of sitting there saying, well, he can't touch his toes, or oh, shoestrings are bored, rather than, all the yoga teachers I know who are welcoming and do their utmost to try and make people feel comfortable in their classes. So that kind of upset me. But then I started thinking about it, thought actually, I think probably the judgment comes from within a lot of the time, not from external forces, although they perhaps play a part in it. And one of the first things that people say to me when they come to a yoga class, maybe it's not their first class, but it's their first class with me, and I say to them, have you done yoga before? And invariably the answer, if they have done it, is yes, but I'm not very good, or yes, but I'm not very flexible. There's always this caveat at the end that they, in their heads, have judged themselves against this measure of what they feel a yoga participant ought to be. So throughout the practice today, I think one of the benefits of doing it like this is that you haven't got that sort of invidious comparison going on. We can't kind of sneak a peep at the person next to us and think, oh God, they look so much better than we are. We can really retreat into our own little bubbles, our own little rooms, our own spaces, and focus on what's going on within us. So that's maybe one of the few benefits of doing Zoom yoga. So really kind of tap into that today, that yoga is for our well-being. It's something that ought to make us feel good about ourselves, regardless of how much or how little of a physical practice we can do. So let's remind ourselves that yoga is, first and foremost, it's about our breath. It's about that synchronicity, the movement we can layer on, however much or little you want to do. So let's start by lying down today, judgment-free yoga. What a thing. Let's lie down on our back. So I'm going to start seated. Feel free to turn your camera off so I can't judge you, as if I would. So maybe I'm going to stay seated for a moment. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Maybe have a little rock, have a little roll. It's early in the morning, so maybe your back feels a little tight today. So do whatever you need to do, whatever time of the day you're practicing. Sometimes the back can feel a little tight. And then when you've had a little massage across your low back, go ahead and bring your feet down to the floor and just assess how your back feels this morning. If it's feeling a little bit tight, then feel free to keep your knees bent up towards the ceiling. Maybe widen your feet so you can prop your knees against each other, or stretch the legs out in front of you. You can always pop something underneath the back of your head if you feel that you're thrusting your chin up towards the ceiling. Just gently draw it down. Lovely. And then let's just bring a hand onto the chest and a hand onto the belly to begin with, sliding the fingertips towards the outside edges of your body if you need to, so that you can rest your elbows on the floor. Let's remind ourselves that whatever we choose to do within our practice, however much or little movement we bring to our practice, that the first and foremost component of any yoga is our breath. So with your hands on your chest, your hands on your belly, you can get that lovely visceral experience of your breath now. Feeling the movement of the breath in the body, not judging, not feeling that it ought to be being felt anywhere in particular. Just see if you can begin to drop your awareness into your body, into your breath. Letting go of the week thus far. And again, reminding ourselves that that's an equally important component of yoga to kind of bring the mind into the practice as well as the body. So as you begin to tune into the rhythm of your breath, maybe you can visualize your breath a bit like a wave. Your belly, your chest rising, like an incoming wave on the inhalation, and then gently receding, falling back on an exhalation. So there's no effort, there's no counting, there's no judgment as to how deep or long that breath should be, just feeling that you're giving the breath a moment to find its natural pace, its natural rhythm. You can breathe through the nose, breathe through the mouth, whatever feels comfortable. Just let your exhalations be soft and quiet, and your inhalations nice and full and deep. You might notice, as well as feeling the breath beneath your hands, you can feel a little bit of expansion and awareness in the back of your body. Maybe the space around your lower back, you feel gently pressing down into the mat when you inhale. And again, that soft sense of receding as you exhale. Maybe not quite as strongly as you feel underneath your hands there. Let's take a couple more breaths there before we start to move and start to tune in some movement layering on with each breath. So whatever your legs are doing, be they bent or outstretched, knowing that you can change them at any time as you gently just release the hands down alongside you, and we'll simply turn the palms up towards the ceiling. Give the fingers a little bit of a wiggle there, maybe have a little roll across the back of the head. Gently signaling to the body that we're going to start to move. So drawing the hands down alongside the body now, palms facing down. Get the sense of lengthening your fingertips down towards your heels. So you've got a little bit of space between your ear and your shoulder. And we'll simply float the fingertips up towards the ceiling first of all, trying to keep that sense of heaviness across your shoulder blades. And you might want to stay there today if your shoulders are tight. You might want to go ahead and continue that journey, bringing the arms back behind you. Just softly landing the back of the hands on the floor, maybe widening your arms into a V shape if that accommodates any tightness in the shoulders. And then we'll come all the way back up through the middle and then softly bring the hands all the way back down. And let's start to layer on the breath. So inhaling, reaching up and back if that's comfortable. If not, just keep the arms reaching up. And exhale, coming all the way back down. Softly landing the hands down. Just continuing now to move with the breath, and you can always modify this. Remember what I'm suggesting to you are just that, they're invitations to move, but really listening to your body. If you just want to move one arm at a time, then feel free. If you want to bring the arms simply up towards the sky and not back behind you, maybe if you're lengthening them back and you feel that you want to arch your back, you can lift your chest up as you inhale and then gently imprint the back into the floor as you exhale. Just kind of let that movement evolve there. Let it be a little bit kind of freestyle there to get into whatever places and spaces need a bit of a stretch across the upper body. The next time you bring the arms back up above the head, let's pause there. So take your time, reach the arms back. And if your knees are bent, let's all stretch the legs out in front of us. So we're in a lovely full body stretch. As we start to circle the ankles and circle the wrists now, a little bit of movement there. Little twirls, maybe a little bit of movement in the toes and the fingers as you change direction. So we'll bring the wrists and the ankles back the opposite way. It's a bit chilly, so we'll warm up through the joints. And then come into that full body stretch now. So softly point the toes, reach the fingertips back. You can arch your back a little bit as you take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, we'll lower the arms and this time slide the heels back in towards you. So we'll bring the heels quite close in towards your sit bones now. So snuggling the feet in close towards you. We'll bring the right knee up and in towards the chest. And let's bring that movement into the hip now with a few knee circles. So you can use your right hand or both hands now as you steer that leg round in a little circle. Relax your lower leg, let that heel drop down towards your bottom. Noticing that movement in the hip joint. And then changing direction if you've not done so. So nice, easy movement, as small or as generous a circle as feels good for the hip. Beautiful. We'll bring that knee up and in, give it one last little loving squeeze, and then bring the foot to the floor, or we'll change sides straight away, so other leg comes in. One hand or both hands. I like to use just the same hand as the leg I'm moving, just to gently guide the leg round. So again, let the leg be moved by the hand, so you're just relaxing the leg as far as you can. Taking the leg round one way, and then the opposite way. Big movements, little movements. You might opt to just open and close the knee out to the side if that's more comfortable. And then we'll give that knee again one last little squeeze in towards your chest before bringing the foot down to the floor. So both feet on the floor now. So go ahead and spread your feet nice and wide. Really root down through all four corners of the feet. And the hands down alongside you. We're going to turn the palms in today. So you're resting on the blades of the little fingers with the arms alongside you. Pressing into your feet and the outside edges of your hands. As you inhale, start to lift the hips up into a little shoulder bridge, maybe just sliding your bum off the floor. And then as you exhale, slowly release. So we're going to do that twice more. So as you inhale, maybe you venture up a little bit higher each time, stretching through the front of the body and beginning to fire up through the back of the body. So last time to root down through the feet, inhaling, lifting the hips, maybe coming up a little bit higher, and then exhaling, rolling down. Oh, that feels nice, little massage on the spine. Let's bring the right knee back up towards your chest, this time holding around the back of the leg, taking the leg up towards the sky for a hamstring stretch. Oh, might feel tight today. We'll start to circle the ankle. Bringing some movement into the ankle joint. Try and keep the knee still, so it's just the foot moving. Lovely. Round the opposite way. And if, like me, you're struggling with a tight hamstring today, go ahead and soften the knee there. Just pop a bend in the knee. Let's come to a little moving flow. So we'll start to wake up through the core. So start to push the heel up towards the sky, toes pulling towards the face. And we'll reach both arms back behind you. And as you do so, start to lower that right leg down toward the floor. Heel might hover. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring the knee in towards your chest. Give it a squeeze. Let's keep the head on the floor as we do one more like that. Inhale, kicking out through the leg. And exhaling, giving that knee a big squeeze. Lovely. And these next two, if you want to start bringing your nose towards your knee, lifting your head and shoulders, firing up through the core, go ahead. If that doesn't feel good, keep the head down. No judgment. One more like that. And then these final two, if you really want to challenge your core, reach the arms up on either side of your shin, reaching up on the diagonal, so you're not using your hands to bring that knee in towards your chest. So whatever variation, one more like that. Woo, waking things up. Let's kick out the leg one last time, reaching back, big breath in, head and shoulders stay on the floor now. Just give that knee one last little squeeze in towards your chest, and then we'll bring the foot down and try that on the other side. So knee comes in. So interlace your hands, keep the hands quite low towards your bottom as you take that left leg up. Again, nice generous bend in the knee as you start to circle the ankle. Check in with your shoulders and your face. Make sure that you've not lifted them up off the mat there or tensed your jaw there. So try and relax your shoulder blades into the floor. Relax your face as you circle the foot the opposite way. Sometimes when we're moving the lower body, we forget about what's going on in the upper body. So let's flex the foot and come into that little moving flow on the opposite side. So big breath in as you lower the leg and reach the arms back. Exhale. Maybe do the first two with your head and shoulders on the floor. Just explore how that feels. So inhale, extend. And exhale, give that knee a little loving squeeze. So these next two, if you want to round your upper body, so we're sliding the shoulders away from the ears, nose coming up towards your knee, feeling the core muscles begin to fire up this morning. A little bit of fire in the belly on this cold and damp day. Lovely. And these last two, if you really want to spark that inner flame, reach the arms up on either side of your shin. Whoa, inhale, extend and kick out through the heel. And exhale, whatever variation works for you. We'll keep the head and shoulders on the floor as you stretch out one last time. And bring that knee in towards your chest. Oh, lovely. Foot to floor. So we've got both feet again snuggled in towards your sits bones. We'll come onto the outside edges of your hands again, so palms facing in towards your body. Now this time as we come into our shoulder bridge, Maybe bend your elbows and point your fingertips up towards the ceiling. So you're looking like a little robot there, palms facing in. Press down into your upper arm bones, your elbows, your feet. And as you inhale, start to lift the hips. So arms and feet driving down as the hips lift up. And then exhale, roll your way down. Just gently release the pressure underneath your arms. And then inhale, pressing down with the elbows, down into your feet as you elevate the hips up. And then releasing, rolling down. See if you can imagine that space between each vertebra as you roll down. Last time. So if this little robot arm doesn't work for you, then feel free to just bring the arms down alongside you as we ordinarily do. Beautiful. Roll your way down. This time we're going to come up and hold. So if this isn't for you, feel free to continue to move with your breath. If you're with me in that little robot, press down with your elbows. See if you can lift your hips even higher, and maybe now reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling, palms facing inwards. Press down into your shoulder blades. And maybe lift your heels. I'm going to walk my feet a little closer in towards my bottom as I lift my heels so I can find even more height through the hips. Let's take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, lower through the spine. See if you can keep your arms lifted up, pressing down into your shoulder blades and your heels lifted. Take your time, rolling down with control. Beautiful. And then we'll bring both knees in towards your chest and the knees slightly apart or together. Take them round in a circle. Just massage off through the back. Whoa, that's woken us up. Little massage, changing direction when you're ready. Beautiful. And then deciding how you want to come up and round to all fours today. So you might just choose to roll to one side or go ahead, cross your ankles, widen your knees. You can hold on behind them. Woo, and roll your way up. And we're going to come round onto all fours. Let me just take this jumper off. So hands underneath your shoulders. So go ahead and spread your fingers nice and wide. Knees under your hips. So take a moment to arrange yourself carefully on the mat. And we're going to do a little bit for our wrists first of all. So pressing down with the hands, don't lock out the elbows, but feel that the arms feel really strong there. We're not disappearing into the shoulders as we start to take the body round in a circle. So you're pressing down through the heel of the hand, gently bringing some weight over the wrists. Now you might just want to stay here, especially if you've got any wrist issues going on, or try turning your fingertips out towards the side of your mat and then resume that little circling, maybe just taking the body around the opposite way this time. Now again, you might think, yep, that's quite enough wrist stretch for me. But some of you, especially if you do a lot of computer work, might enjoy being a word open to a yogic interpretation, mind. You might turn your fingertips in towards your knees. And again, maybe just rock backwards and forwards there. You can do one hand at a time if both is too much. As you rock the weight back, you might feel a delicious stretch through the underside of the wrist. Go ahead and change hands if you're just moving one hand there. It can be quite a deep stretch, so just be mindful there. But really good to stretch out through the wrist when so many of us are using our little devices more and more. Lovely. Let's bring the body to stillness. Very carefully turn your fingertips back to face the top of your mat. You're going to tuck the toes under. Walk your hands back towards your knees and see if you can come and perch on your feet there. Maybe unhook your little toes so they can get a bit of a stretch. And we'll start to circle the wrists. So we'll stretch out the wrists. Let's stretch into the feet. If this is really uncomfortable, flatten your feet. Take those wrists around the opposite way. Maybe give them a little shake to release any tension. Can you feel those feet? Yeah, flapping the hands. Inhale, let's sweep the arms up. And exhale, we'll come back down onto all fours, flatten the feet, maybe give them a little tap on the mat. And then we'll come into more familiar territory of our cat and cow. So really keep pressing into your hands now as you allow your belly to dip, your heart to pull forwards. Chin lifts just a little away from your chest there. And then exhale like an angry cat. Tailbone tuck, so don't forget that little tailbone tucking as well as your head dropping. And then catch your breath. Inhale to allow the belly to dip. And exhale, going the opposite way as you pull navel up towards the spine, getting that lovely rounding through your back. Maybe close your eyes here so you can just, again, visualize that movement. Feel the breath. And if your shoulders feel a little tight today, or maybe you're just broad-chested, take your hands slightly wider apart. Give yourself more space this morning. Oh, again, that feels nice to spread the space between your shoulder blades. Nice to get some movement through the back of the body. Lovely. And the next time you're in that angry cat shape, we're going to pause. So really hollow out through the belly, let the head drop. And then we'll come forwards into our little cow pose and swing your hips to the right and maybe look over your right shoulder. We'll swing hips back to center and then maybe look over left shoulder as you swing your tail, your hips to the left. Come back through the middle and take that angry cat pose. Beautiful. Here we go with the breath. As you inhale, bring the chest forwards. And as you exhale, hips to the right, maybe looking over right shoulder, press into your left hand. Inhale through the center. Over to the other side, pressing into that right hand. Inhale to center. Exhaling, angry cat. So inhale to bring the heart forwards. Take that little swing of the hips as you look over your shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhaling over to the other side, pressing into your hands. Inhale through the middle and exhale, angry cat. Let's do that one more time. So you're making that lovely lateral movement through the spine, a little C shape, shortening one side of the body, lengthening through the other. Lovely. Inhale to center. And this time as you exhale, come into that angry cat and slide your bottom towards your heels, coming into a little child pose. We're going to keep moving. Inhale back onto all fours, maybe with an arch in the spine. Exhale, rounding back. Bottom sinking back to heels. Lovely. One more time. Inhale, pulling yourself back up onto all fours. This time we'll pause in our child pose. So let's go ahead and walk the fingertips forwards now, lifting up onto the palms of your tips of your fingers and thumbs, so palms and elbows are lifted. So we've taken the pressure off the wrists, as well as now deepening that lovely stretch through the side of the body, down into our underarms, from underneath our arms down to the side of our hips as we press the fingertips forwards and down and draw the hips back towards your heels. Now take a little creep of your hands over to the right side of your mat. Maybe nudge your bottom a little bit over to the left. Try and drop that left shoulder down so you feel, again, that nice lateral C-shape stretch through the side of the body there. And then we'll take that little creep of those spider fingers all the way back through the middle, over to the other side. So this time maybe your bottom nudges to the right, and the hands to the left. And again, I'm trying to drop that right shoulder blade this time, so my upper back is relatively level there. Couple of breaths there, really drawing the breath right down into the side of the body there. It's a delicious stretch out, the space between the ribs. And then we'll come all the way back into the center and find our way back onto all fours. So as you come onto all fours now, we're going to keep the gaze forwards if you can. So we'll tuck the toes under. The temptation is to drop the head. So keep pressing into your hands, keep the gaze just forwards, take an inhale. And as you exhale, can you just lift your knees to hover just an inch or so off the floor? Keep pressing into your hands, don't lift your bottom. And then inhale, release, knees to floor. Lovely. Exhaling, firming up through the belly. Maybe just lift the knees an inch or so. If not, just hug navel to spine. And exhale, let's bring the knees all the way back down. Lovely. Let's take an inhale. Exhale, coming up into that little hover, pause. And then this time we'll continue. Hips go up and back. Woo, downward dog. Start to have a little pedal out through the feet now as you find that lovely stretch through the side of the body and then the back of the legs. Bending one knee and then the other. Maybe a little shift of the hips from side to side, a little wag of the tail there again, just to bring some movement and some levity to that movement. Keep it nice and loose. Beautiful. And then let's bring the feet a little closer together, about hip width apart if you have them wider. Coming into our little moving flow here. So as you inhale, let's rise up onto the balls of the feet. And as you exhale, lower the knees to hover, just as we've done. Press into your hands, look forwards, lovely. Inhale, back up into your downward dog. And as you exhale, try and stretch the heels up and back, lovely. So rise up onto tiptoes as you inhale. Exhale, gaze comes forwards as you hover the knees. Keep pressing into your hands, firm up through the belly. Inhale as you lift the hips. And exhale, stretch the heels back. Can we do that one more time? Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower yourself just until you hover. And then we'll lift the hips up and back as you inhale and exhale into your down dog. Beautiful. Let's bring the big toes and the ankles together, staying in our downward dog now. You can do all of this from all fours. As you inhale, this time float the right leg up and back, turning the toes out ever so slightly. And as you exhale, lower the foot to the floor. Changing sides as you inhale, trying not to shift the weight through your hands too much. So staying even through the arms as we do that one more time. So right leg lifting, try turning the toes out a little bit for a little hip opener. And exhale, floating the foot back down. Last time with the left leg. Whoop, inhale. And exhale with both feet on the floor this time. Let's take a deep knee bend, look forwards. And as you inhale, step or help your right foot forwards and lower the back knee. You can flatten the foot or keep the toes tucked. Beautiful. We're going to sweep the arms all the way out and up as you inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to split the arms. So left arm in front, right arm behind. Take a little twist towards your knee. Lovely. Inhale through the middle. Oh, got a hair in my mouth. And as you exhale, over to the other side. So right arm in front, left arm behind. Lovely. Inhale to center. And let's bring the palms together now at the heart, drawing them down. So we're going to lift the breastbone to meet your thumbs. Keep your chin above your fingertips now as you take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So you're turning towards your knee, Option to stay there. Or that left elbow, we're going to hook over the knee. We're going to make a fist with your underneath hand. And the top palm presses into that fist. And see if you can lift your belly, twisting towards your hands there, bringing your thumb towards your heart towards your thumb. Beautiful. Feeling that lovely ringing out through the midsection, through the back. Lovely. Coming back through the middle, fingertips to the floor this time. Flatten any toes that are tucked under at the back. Take an inhale. Exhale, start to move your hips back, maybe keeping your foot on the floor and the knee bent to start with. Inhale, hips come forwards. Bend the front knee. Exhale, slide the hips back. You can maybe pull the toes towards your face if that feels good this morning. Plant the foot, let the hips drop. Inhale. Exhale, let's find that hamstring stretch now. So this morning, for some of us, it might be a deep knee bend and the foot on the floor. You might be pulling the toes towards the face. Swing those hips back to the middle of the mat. Let's take an inhale as you lift your chest. And as you exhale, can you take a little bow down over that extended leg and say, hello, hamstrings. We love this stretch. Breathing into that. Don't worry if you've got to bend your knee. Lovely. Let's all lift the chest. We'll roll through that front foot. Plant the foot, pick up the back knee. We'll step back into our downward facing dog. From downward dog, we'll lower the knees back onto all fours completely this time, breathing in and breathing out into a child pose. Keep the hands on the floor this time. Option to have a little rest there, or join me coming onto all fours on an inhale. And continue to come forwards and down as you exhale. A little moving flow, elbows hug in. Lovely. Press into your hands, peeling the chest up. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, hips to heels. Hey up, here comes fairy friend. Twice more. Inhale, rise up. Thank you, Milu. Exhale, lower down. Perfect timing. Inhale, press into your hands, back onto all fours. Exhale, take a child pose. One more if you're with me. Hello, mister. Inhaling up. Exhaling, coming all the way down. So really keep those elbows tucked in as you push yourself back up through all fours and back into that child pose. Lovely. So this time we're going to come all the way up and down onto our tummies. So we're going to lie ourselves down. We're going to interlace the hands, making like a little tripod there. Elbows underneath your shoulders for a little variation on Sphinx pose. So stretch the toes back behind you. Really stretch them out through the legs so you feel that maybe your kneecaps engaged there. And we'll press down into our forearms so you feel that lovely lifting up from your navel to your throat. So keeping your chin parallel to the floor, we'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, take a look over your right shoulder and press into your left elbow. Inhale to center and exhaling, changing sides. So try not to dip your chin. Inhale to center. This time as you look over right shoulder, bring right heel in towards your bottom. So you're looking over your shoulder. Coming back through the middle as you inhale. Other side as you exhale, heel coming into bottom, flexing that foot. And then we'll come all the way back through the middle. Lower yourself down, hands underneath the shoulders, push back all fours. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog, or have another breath or two in child pose or all fours. Choice is yours. When you're in that downward dog, again, we'll bring our big toes and our ankles together. So this time, left leg leads the way as you inhale, lifting the leg up to turn the toes out, and exhale to lower all the way down. Other leg lifts, so a little turn out with the toes, up on an inhale, and then come all the way down as you exhale. Let's lift that left leg. Lovely, lifting it up. Beautiful. And slowly lower down. So one more with the right leg if you can. Last time, inhaling up. And exhaling down. So this time we'll add that deep knee bend, look forwards. And as you inhale, step or help your left foot forwards. That's not very helpful, Neil. And bring the back knee down. So arms float out to the side and all the way up as you inhale. A little furry friend here to help me. Exhale, we're going to split the arms. So we're going to take the right arm in front, left arm behind. Lovely. Inhale to center. As you exhale, other side. So left arm in front, right arm behind. So we're opening up through the chest. Beautiful. Back through the middle, take an inhale. This time as you exhale, we're going to bring the hands all the way down to the heart. Really lift your breastbone to meet your thumbs as you inhale. And as we exhale, we take that little twist to the left this time. So you're turning towards that front knee. Option to stay there, or this time right elbow hooks over your left thigh, making that fist with your underneath hand. So you're pressing your top palm down, seeing if you can lift your chest up a little bit higher. So you're spinning your heart towards your thumbs there. Beautiful. And then we'll come back through the middle. Fingertips find the floor. We're going to flatten that back foot. Take an inhale. And exhale, we'll start to move the hips back towards your heels. Lovely. Inhaling, let the hips drop as you bring the weight forwards. And then exhale, maybe the toes are coming towards your face, maybe your foot's on the floor. Lovely. We'll do that one more time. So really listen to what's going on in your hamstrings. We don't want to pull those. So as you find your hamstring stretch this morning, it might well be that the knee is bent. We'll go ahead and pull those toes towards your face, sliding the front heel away from you. Hips swing back to the middle. We'll take an inhale as you lift your chest ever so slightly, and exhale, see if you can fold your way down over your legs. Oh, might feel different this side. I always feel that one side feels a little tighter. We're all kind of tend to be more dominant one side or the other. Lovely. Let's roll through the front foot, plant the hands, pick up the back knee, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale to all fours. Exhaling child pose. Option to stay there or one little moving flow. Onto all fours as you inhale. And exhale forwards and down, squeezing those elbows in and then peeling your way back up to all fours on an inhale. Taking a moment in that child pose, forehead down towards the floor, reaching the arms out nice and long. Lovely. And then when you're ready, finding your way back up into down dog. And this time from our down dog, we'll walk our feet towards our hands, coming to the top of the mat, avoiding any furry friends who might have joined you along the way. Bend your knees generously. Maybe cradle your elbows and have a little sway side to side. If you don't want to be in a forward fold today, just lift yourself up, hands above your knees, so you can bring your head higher than your heart. If you're down in that forward fold, let the knees bend, let the body just be gently moved by the breath, side to side. Beautiful. And then releasing the elbows. If you were adding that little sway, so you can now begin to roll yourself up very slowly, letting the arms dangle, rising up to stand. Beautiful. I'll come round to face you. You can see I've got my little companion there who's taken up a really inconvenient space on the mat. Take a nice shoulder roll. Inhaling up and exhale. Let the shoulders slide down the back. We'll see if we can keep them there now as you bring your hands together at your hearts. A little one for our shoulders now. So really being mindful of how your shoulders want to move as you arrow the arms forwards, looking towards your right thumb, and open the right arm out to the side. It might only come level with the shoulder. You might be able to move it back a little further. And then we come all the way back through the middle. Lovely. And then other side. So you're going to open the left arm. Maybe the arm just comes level with the shoulder. Maybe it travels back a little ways. Lovely. We'll come all the way back through the middle. Lovely. Let's do that one more time. So opening the right arm. Imagine your hips are in a little vice there, so the hips and the knees stay forward, so you're getting that lovely movement through the upper body. Last one, woohoo, one side again, might feel a little bit more fluid than the other, that's perfectly normal. Beautiful, and then we'll come all the way back through the middle and bring the hands back to the heart. So standing at the top of your mat, make sure you've got some space behind you. I might have to move Milu to tread on his tail. You're going to take a deep knee bend and sweep the arms all the way out and up, grow really tall as you inhale. Hands coming to heart as you exhale. Let's do that twice more. So just getting the body used to that movement, inhaling. Lovely, reaching up towards the sky and then drawing the thumbs down towards your heart. Lovely, last time, inhaling up. And we're just going to start to add on, exhaling all the way back to the heart. So inhaling up. And this time as you exhale, we're going to come down into a forward fold. So bend those knees as generously as you need to. Slide the hands up to your shins or to your thighs as you inhale, so you can lift your chest halfway. And exhale, fold back down. Listen up. Bend the knees, drop the hips, sweep the arms forwards and up into a wide V, chair pose as you inhale. And as you exhale, see if you can bend your knees, send your hips back a little further. You're going to straighten the legs, reach up towards the sky as you inhale. And exhaling, circle the hands all the way back behind you so you can interlace them around your low back. Soften the knees. And as you inhale, draw the knuckles down, maybe lift your chin. And exhale, release the arms, drop the chin. Here we go again. We're going to inhale and sweep the arms up, adding on this time. Exhale down into that forward fold, so arms might be out in front of you or to the side. Sliding hands up the legs, coming up halfway as you inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to fold all the way down. Give your furry friend a pat. Up into that chair pose as you inhale. Fingers sweep up towards the sky. And as you exhale, sink a little deeper. This time as you rise up to stand on an inhale, maybe lift the heels into a little balance. And as you exhale, lower the heels as the hands swim all the way back behind you. Soften the knees, roll the shoulders, lift your chin, open up across the chest. And exhale, release. Lovely. Last time. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale down into that forward fold. Again, we're going to add on to as much or as little as you want. Maybe fingertips stay on the floor this time as you lift up halfway or slide them up the legs. Exhale to soften and fold. Into that chair pose as you inhale. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Check those knees are still pointing forwards. We're going to rise up to stand as you inhale, maybe adding that little balance as you lift your heels. Ooh, wiggle, wobble. Exhale, lower the heels, swim the hands behind you. Lovely. So listen up as you inhale, we're going to draw the knuckles down. And this time as you exhale, bend the knees generously. And we're going to come back into that forward fold. This time, maybe the arms lift up and over. If that's not good for shoulders, bring your fingertips to the floor in a forward fold. And then where we're just allowing the arms to hang, maybe you can straighten your legs out a little bit so you're feeling that hamstring stretch. Beautiful. Let's all release the hands to the low back. Fingertips to floor, shins or thighs. Inhale, lifting up halfway, but this time as we exhale, we're going to slide or step your right foot back. Now we're getting ready for a high lunge, so you can always drop the back knee if you need to. Otherwise, separate the feet and then rise up with the arms. So a little bend in both knees, shoulders above hips, arms reaching up towards the sky. Beautiful. You're going to rise up onto the balls of the feet, straighten the legs as you inhale. And as you exhale, bend the knees, right arm in front, left arm behind. So you're turning towards that front knee. Arms reach all the way up, take an inhale. And this time as you exhale, left arm in front, we're going to drop the right heel into our warrior two. So the front knee is bent and the arms are out nice and long. So maybe walk that front foot to the middle of your mat there. Stretch that through the fingertips as you turn the palms up. And as you inhale, we're going to straighten both legs and arrow the arms up. Palms might touch above your head. Mine are, even though you can't see them as you exhale. Bend the front knee and look over your fingertips. So rising up, really pull up through the low belly, lengthen up through the low back. And exhale, bend the knee. Look over those front fingertips. One more time. So you're really pressing into the outside edge of that back foot. working the inner thighs. So this time we're going to reach both arms up, straightening legs. Inhale. Exhale, let that right arm fall back behind you and reach up and over with the left arm as we reverse our triangle. Lovely, bend the front knee back into our warrior. Inhale. This time as you exhale, forearm to thigh, top arm up or up and over. Back into your warrior. Inhale. Keeping the knee bent this time. Exhale, reverse the arms, reach all the way up and back. Beautiful. Inhaling into your warrior. And as you exhale, we're going to take a big windmill of the hands down, framing that front foot. Pivot on the back foot, drop the hips. And on your next inhale, take the left arm up into a big twist. You can lower the back knee if you need to. Hands coming down. Option downward dog, or take that left leg up and back into a three-legged dog. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's lower the feet to the floor. Option to stay in down dog, have a rest, or continuing to plank as you inhale. And as you exhale, knees down, chest down, coming all the way down onto your tummies. Flatten your feet. Lift into a little baby cobra, or maybe an upward dog, if that's part of your practice. And then tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. If you need to have a rest in child pose, feel free. You can take a couple of breaths in our downward dog. Really stretching the hips up and back, being as generous with that knee bend as you need to. Now let's all add that generous knee bend. Look forwards, and as you inhale, step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat into your flat back. Exhale as you fold over the legs. Let's take a deep knee bend. Sweep the arms all the way out and up, rising up on an inhale. Exhaling all the way down with the hands to the heart. You're being very good there, Milu. Not conveniently placed, but being very good. Should we try that on the other side? So I just turn around so I'm mirroring you. We're going to do all of that on the other side. So let's take a deep knee bend. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, maybe the legs are a little straighter now as we come down over the legs. Finding that halfway lift as you inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale back into your fold. Fingertips reach up into your chair pose. Bend the knees, send the hips back. And as you exhale, sink a little deeper. So we're going to rise up to stand as you inhale, maybe adding that little balance, rising up. And exhaling, lower the heels with resistance. Hands sweep behind you. Draw the knuckles down, lift the chest. Take an inhale. Exhale, that deep knee bend. So allow the belly to melt over the thighs. Maybe the arms lift up and over. And then we're down in that forward fold. That's when maybe we can start to think about straightening the legs a little bit, feeling that hamstring stretch. Lovely. Let's release the hands to the low back. And then when you're ready, fingertips to floor, shins or thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, this time left leg, slide it back or step it back. I'm going to walk that right foot towards my right hand so my feet are hip width. And then sweeping the arms up. So we're in that lovely high lunge. Option to lower the back knee. Just make sure you're not leaning forward. So we've got the heart on top of hips. Beautiful. So straightening the legs. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, left arm in front, right arm behind. So you're turning towards your front knee. Straightening legs, inhale. This time as you exhale, left heel drops in. So we open the arms out. So we're in a warrior two on the other side. Beautiful. Palms up. Inhale. Rise up. Look up if that's good for you. And exhale, we turn the gaze over the fingertips. Lovely. Looking forwards with confidence into the future in our lovely strong warriors. Exhale. Slowly release, maybe sinking a little deeper each time, but trying not to shift the body weight forward. So again, shoulders on top of hips. Lengthening out across the chest. So this time we're going to keep the legs straight, arrow the arms up. Inhale. Exhaling. Left arm drops back, right arm this time reaches up and over for that lovely stretch. Beautiful. Bend the knee. Inhale into your warrior. Exhale, forearm to thigh. Top arm up or alongside the ear, whatever feels good. Lovely. Back into your warrior. Inhale. Keep the knee bent this time as we arc the body back. Reverse warrior. Beautiful. Last time into our warrior. And as you exhale, that big tick-tock of the hands down. So we're going to pivot on the back foot. Drop the hips. Right arm lifts as you inhale, opening up through the chest. You can lower that back knee. Exhale, bring the hands down. Downward dog, or take the right leg up and back. Three-legged dog on an inhale. Exhaling, foot to floor. Beautiful. Option to roll the body forwards to plank. You can always skip it on an inhale. Maybe the knees are lifted as you lower to the floor as you exhale. Lovely, pressing into palms of hand, tops of feet, little cobra, or continuing to lift the body up into an up dog. And then we'll lift the hips into a down dog. Option to have a rest. Again, there's no judgment. Child pose might be just what you need today, so go ahead and take it if you need to. Regain that control over the breath. And then come and join us in a downward dog when you're ready. From that downward dog, again, we're going to generously bend the knees, look forwards, and as you inhale, step, walk, or maybe add a little hop, whoop, to the top of the mat into a halfway lift. What's the worst thing that can happen, hey? Exhale as you fold. Lovely, let's rise up to stand as you inhale. Exhaling, hands to heart, let's pause there. So take a moment now, catch your breath. Hair, my furry friend has been depositing his fur on my yoga mat. Got one up my nose, so woo! So hands to heart now, really find your foundation. So if balance is a little wibbly wobbly, maybe a bit challenged today, you can always just move the arms, or we can find a piece of furniture. Again, no judgment. I think this is when we start to panic. We're going to wobble. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and just explore how it feels by shifting the weight into your left leg. So that doesn't mean bumping the hips over to the left. It just means pressing down a little bit more firmly into the foot. You're going to lift up your right heel. And maybe that's where you stay, just pivoting on the ball of the foot. So we open the knee, ready for your tree pose, which might be there today. Or using your big toe as a kickstand, or go ahead and bring your foot up a little bit higher, never on the knee joint, it kind of destabilizes us, lovely. And then we'll also, if we can pull up and out of that standing leg, so you're aiming to grow a little bit taller. And if you fall out, it's okay. Find some furniture, bring the foot to the floor, catch your breath. Let's take the arms up into a lovely wide V shape. So knowing that you can always just work the arms this morning, reaching the arms up, lift the chest. You might stay there, or go ahead and just float the right hand down, finding the knee or the thigh. You're going to reach up with the left arm as you inhale and take a little side bend as you exhale, so just over to the right. Lovely, both arms lifting, take an inhale, beautiful. And as you exhale, we'll lower the left arm down. Reach the fingertips apart as you inhale, over to the left this time as you exhale. Tiny movements, reaching up. Great, everyone. And exhaling, hands to heart, foot to floor. Give the feet a little shake. I could feel myself wibbly wobbling there. Now, this is my dodgy ankle, so I might well be wibbly wobbling on this side, which is all good. Can we do it gracefully and with a smile? So let's lift the left heel up. So again, that little pivot on the foot. You might just want to stay there. Or just use some furniture. If you feel wibbly wobbly and you want to try your balance, just go ahead and hold on to a wall or a piece of furniture, whatever works for you. So remember that tree is a hip opener. The balance comes later, so you might just focus on opening up through the hip. Let's lift up a little bit taller and lift the arms up into that lovely wide V shape. Spread your branches. You might stay there, or left hand this time floats down. Going to reach right arm up as you inhale. And a little side bend, so it's a tiny movement over to the left. I can feel myself wobbling. Inhale, reaching up. I'm with you. Exhale, let's bring that hand down. I can feel my ankles, so we're changing arms. That's it. Reaching the arms apart. Inhale. Beautiful, everyone. Over the top. Keep that knee squeezed out. Knee wants to roll in when we come over this way. We've got this. Inhale, reaching the arms up one last time. I'm wibbly wobbly. Exhale, find the ground, lower the hands. That was hard. Have a little wobble. Some days it feels easy with balance, and other days it's just a real challenge, isn't it? My ankle was really knocking my center off this morning. So let's take a nice deep knee bend, ground through the feet. Lovely, nice and stable. Inhale, exhale, we'll take a forward fold. Beautiful. Last time to halfway lift. Inhale. This time as you exhale, we're going to bend the knees and step back into plank. Woo, you weren't expecting that. Lovely. So really press into your hands, puff up between your shoulder blades, and then we'll lower the knees and come down onto our tummies. Oh, hello, Amelia. That was a big yawn. This time making a little pillow for your head. Stretch the legs back behind you, so feel that you're nice and open through the hips. And we'll do a little quad stretch to stretch out through the legs. So we'll bring the right heel back in towards your bottom, just as we did before with a flex foot. Option to stay there, or right hand reaches back behind you. See if you can catch hold of your ankle or your foot. And then we bring that heel in towards your bottom. So if you can't quite get to your foot, then you might hook your fingers in your trousers. So the knee is on the floor. We're lengthening the knee away from the top of the hip. You might gently press your hips down into your mat if you want a little bit more stretch there. Lovely. And then very slowly let that leg go. And we'll swap sides. So with a flexed foot, left heel comes in. That might be where you stay. Or, oh, giving fairy friend a little stroke as you go round. Left heel comes into bottom. Really, you're being very well behaved today. I'm very impressed. He's clearly after a treat. So press your hips down a little bit harder into the floor there to deepen that stretch. Get that lovely sense of length from top of hip to knee. Hello. His purring accompanying the yoga practice. That's a soundtrack today. That's lovely. Let's lower the legs. Bring the hands underneath your forehead there. We'll flick the feet up towards the ceiling, and then like a little windscreen wiper, take a gentle rock from side to side. And then we'll lengthen the legs back, coming back onto all fours. This time we'll widen the knees and send your hips back towards your heels. Oh, it's having a lovely stretch on the mat. Move your bum, Milu, so I can stretch my arms out. If you don't like having your knees wide, bring them parallel. Oh, it's that lovely, generous child pose. And you might just want to have a lovely rest here, or join me. There's a little stretch for the shoulders, coming onto the tips of your fingers on your right hand. So you can feed your left arm underneath your right arm, slide the shoulder away from the ear, and have a little peek under your armpit, maybe rolling that top armpit up towards the sky there. You're wrecking my carpet again, Mealy. And then we'll change sides. So we're reaching the left arm in front. So you're up on your finger pad so you can slide your right arm underneath you. So we're trying to open that top armpit up towards the ceiling there. You are a monkey. This never happens to yoga with Adrienne, with her nice dog. He just sits there and is compliant. Then slowly reach both arms back out in front of you. And then when you're ready, walk your hands back towards your knees so you can lift your chest up. We'll point the knees together and come and sit down on our bottoms. With the right leg crossed in front of the left leg, or stretch both legs out in front of you. If you want to pop yourself up on a blanket, feel free. Beautiful. Let's find the fingertips find the floor, so you're sitting up nice and tall. And then just the right arm, we're going to stretch out in front, out to the side, level with the shoulder, and have a look over that right thumb. Beautiful. You're going to sweep the arm all the way across the chest. So you're getting a nice stretch in the back of the shoulder, all the way back out to the side, and then over the top, softening into that underneath elbow. Lovely. Adding the breath. Inhale to reach out. Exhale, so following the movement of the thumb with the gaze as you reach across the chest. Try and drop the shoulder. Inhaling, reaching out, level with shoulder. Exhale, over the top. Lovely side stretch. Let's do that one more time. So looking over your thumb as you inhale. And then bringing the arm across the chest as you exhale. Inhale to reach out. Exhaling over the top. Lovely. So this time you're going to reach out to the side, take an inhale, and as you exhale, bring the arm across the chest. But this time we're going to catch hold either below or above your elbow. So we're getting a nice stretch out through the back of the shoulder there. Try not to lean over to the left. So sitting up nice and tall. Lovely. And then if you want a little bit more, drop your left ear to your left shoulder. But really try and keep that right shoulder away from your ear now. So we're adding a little bit of a neck stretch as well. Oh, that feels nice. Beautiful. Slowly bring the head back to center. We're going to reach that right arm all the way up towards the sky this time. And then just drop your chin down towards your chest and see if you can bend at the elbow and bring your fingertips just onto your shoulder blade there, and then lift your head. So you might support the arm from underneath there. So we're trying to point the elbow as far as comfortable up towards the ceiling. That might already feel like quite a stretch. Or you can reach the left arm out to the side, turn the palm away from you, you're going to lean forwards and see if you can hook your fingertips. Now, some of you might be able to catch your fingers, some of you that might be too much, you might just catch hold of your t-shirt. And we're going to bring the body upright again, so elbow points up towards the sky. Take an inhale, exhale, take a little lean over to the left. Lovely. Inhale to center. So remember, you can support the arm. And exhale over to the left. Lovely. So quite a small movement, but I can feel that quite deeply into the side of the body. Just once more, over to the side. Beautiful. And then we'll come all the way back through the middle. Slowly release. Ooh, I can feel that. Give the shoulders a little shimmy. Change the cross of the legs. And then left arm reaches out to the side, looking over thumb. Take an inhale. Exhale as you sweep the arm across the chest. Beautiful. Inhale out to the side, looking over thumb. Taking that lovely big side stretch as you exhale. You might tuck your chin into your armpit. Inhale to reach out. Exhale, bring the arm across the body. Lovely. Inhale to reach out. All the way over the top. Ooh, big side bend. Lovely. One more time. Inhale. Oh, he's gone. Exhale. Lovely. Last time. Over the top. So let that other elbow just drop in towards the waist. And then we'll reach out to the side. And this time, as you bring the arm across the chest, we're going to catch hold. So it might be above, it might be below the elbow, whatever feels nice for your shoulder. Try and drop the shoulder away from your ear, and then right ear to right shoulder. You might need to slightly move your chin to find a comfortable kind of degree of stretch in the side of the neck there. Body tends to want to cheat, so see if you can sit up by pressing down into that left sit bone. That's it. And then we're going to slowly release, reaching the arm up towards the ceiling this time. Dropping chin to chest so you can just slide the fingertips down towards your shoulder blade and then lifting the chin. Maybe you support the arm from underneath. Maybe that's where you stay. Or maybe you reach the other arm out to the side, palm turns away from you. If you lean forward, you might find that you've got a little bit more chance of catching the fingertips. Or simply come back as you lift the body upright to holding underneath the arm. We'll take an inhale. Little side bend to the right as you exhale, so it's quite a small move. Inhale to center. So we don't want to lose that connection through your sit bones. So if you make the move a little bit smaller, you might find that you're moving less across your sit bones. So let's take one more little side bend. Oh, I can feel that. It's a good stretch though, hey? We'll come all the way back up and then slowly release. Oh, take a little roll or wiggle through the shoulders. We'll stretch the legs out in front of you. Pop a bend in the knees if you need to. We'll take a nice breath in as you reach up and over the legs as you breathe out, tucking the chin in. Allow the body to gently ease forwards. Ah, lovely. Hello, furry friends. If you come back in to finish with us. Beautiful. Let's try and soften the skin of your face as you take the body down. And then when you're ready, walk the hands back up the legs, bending the knees. If you're in a colder room, you want to pop a jumper on, feel free. As you bring yourself down onto your back, I'm just going to stay seated for a minute. So down onto your back and bring your knees in towards your chest. So knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug, a little rock, whatever feels good. And then if your back is feeling a little bit tight throughout the practice, go ahead and bring your feet to the floor. If back feels okay, keep the knees towards your chest as you bring the arms out level with the shoulders. Really. We'll take a nice deep breath in And as you breathe out, let's drop both knees over to the right side. So you might go ahead and tuck those knees up towards your chest. You might slide them a little bit further away from you, whatever feels good there. Maybe pick up your head and take your gaze over your left arm there. Just allow the body to settle for a few breaths in that lovely twist of it, however deep you want to bring it. Remember, the knees higher up towards your chest, you're going to feel that much higher up your spine. And then slowly coming back through the middle as you inhale, and over to the other side as you exhale. Again, you can scoop those knees up towards your belly, or simply slide your feet further away from you. Do whatever feels good this morning. A couple of breaths there. Maybe the head has turned in the opposite direction. Lovely. And then slowly, slowly come back through the middle. Bring those knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug if you want to have one more full body stretch, or do something else before you just allow the body a moment of stillness. Go ahead and do whatever you need to do. Bring a blanket on if you're a bit chilly this morning. Just bring the body into a comfortable position. Just for a moment or so. Maybe keeping the knees bent. Walking your feet a little bit wider apart. Or stretching both legs out in front of you. When you've made all those fine tunings so the body feels comfortable, take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And as you breathe out, just let the body soften and settle into whatever shape you found yourself in. And you might, again, if you've been feeling very busy in the mind, you've got a lot to do. The mind is pulling you forwards into that inevitable to-do list that we all have. Maybe again, a hand on your chest, a hand on your belly can help you connect with your breath, and help you again drop out of that busy doing mind and bring us more back into our bodies. So reminding ourselves that whether we wobbled in our tree pose, whether we took a child pose and had a rest, really just congratulating ourselves for having shown up, having moved our bodies this morning, however much or as little as our bodies permitted us to do this morning. Feeling that sense of gratitude and satisfaction rather than frustration with perhaps what didn't go right. So nice, easy breaths there. Knowing that you can stay there for as long as you wish. Just turn the camera off, or just beginning to prepare yourself to face the rest of the day by bringing some gentle movement back now. Maybe just your fingers and toes having a wiggle. Maybe a little roll across the back of your head there. Beautiful. And then slowly bring your knees in towards your chest, giving yourself that nice big hug. A little rock, a little circle, whatever feels good. And then slowly rolling yourself onto one side, left or right, it really doesn't matter. And then coming to join me. Comfortable seated position, never has to be cross-legged. I remember feeling really sad when a lady once told me that she would really love to do yoga, but she felt she couldn't because she couldn't cross her legs. And I thought, how awful not to give it a go because you feel that you can't cross your legs. Oh dear, oh dear. Bring your hands to your heart. Let's just lift the breastbone. Allow your elbows to feel really heavy as you allow your chin to drop down towards your fingertips. A little reverent bow to one another for having shown up today. Just reminding ourselves the words of a very wise yoga teacher who once said, yoga is the practice of observing yourself without judgment. Reminding ourselves of that every time we hit the mat. Let's take an inhale. The important thing is we show up, reach the arms up. Exhaling, hands to heart, that little, again, gesture of reverence and thanks and gratitude to each other for sharing a practice today. And namaste. Thank you, thank you. I wasn't reading my emails, I was getting that photo ready with the little quote on. Thank you, thank you. Oh, lovely to see you.